You had mentioned being able to nimble somebody, and when I was looking at the Chrome extension going through it, as far as a call to action or an action step, from an article I might read in Forbes where I know that I want to talk to the person who wrote it, or a CEO gets interviewed and I know I want to interview him or her or talk to them, talk a little bit more about it, taking social media that route of here's an opportunity to connect, not collect another name.
Followers or Facebook likes. It's people that you've taken the time to build a relationship with, where you spent the time to get to know their background and how you might serve them, and then reached out and had a connection and conversation where you've learned enough about them, where you've earned the right to be able to help them grow and serve them. And so it starts with a name. It starts with a connection. And today, if you wanted to connect with me, I would hope you did your homework and looked me up and didn't send a generic LinkedIn invitation and said, I want you to join my professional network. What I hope that you did is you looked at my background and found out why you might want to connect with me, how you might serve or work with me to help me attain my business goals, and how I might serve you. And I call it paying it forward. So basically, I believe business is about building mutually beneficial business relationships. And that's what Nimble helps you do, because it helps you to connect in a way that you know that person and you can stay connected over time.
What are those top 3 or 4 things that people can do, and use Nimble for, of course, too,
you bet,
they need to do before they reach out? What is that again?
So the key thing about Nimble today and our Nimble Everywhere strategy is that on average our users are spending 1 to 2 hours a day in Nimble. And I believe that's in the morning and at night when they wake up and when they go to sleep. During the day, I think they're in their inbox, they're in their business productivity tools, they're in their CRM. With Nimble Everywhere, you can right-click any name anywhere and Nimble them. And Nimble will automatically build a complete digital summary of who that person is, what their background is, what connections you share, and what's going on in their life, where you could then listen and learn, so that when you do reach out, it's meaningful and it's effective. And so the number 1 goal when you're connecting with somebody, do your homework. Number 2 is figure out a way that you might be able to serve them. Because I believe people buy a better version of themselves and they don't buy great products. So if you can figure out how you can help them grow, then what you want to do is over time, walk in their digital path. Listen to what they're saying and who they're saying it to, add value to the conversation, so that when you do actually reach out directly, whether you're DMing them or you're connecting on LinkedIn or you're inviting them for a phone call, it's a warm call and not a cold call.
What do people need to do to really maintain those relationships and build the ones they have, rather than just jumping from contact to contact to contact?
I think number 1 is focus, right? So you should focus on the ones that you could actually serve, provide a product or services that's going to benefit them. And those should be the primary focus on a day-to-day basis that you're connecting with. And rather than trying to sell them anything, find out how you can serve them. Because Zig Ziglar said, the more people you can help grow, the more you will grow. And finally, you need to stay top of mind. Because ultimately, if you're not top of mind and part of their business process when they're making a buying decision, they won't think of you. And the way you stay top of mind with people today is by adding value to the conversation, by educating and inspiring them along the process. And I use content for that. So basically, I share content on a daily basis that inspires and educates others, and people read that content and they continue to stay engaged with me. But ultimately, Nimble helps you to do that, because you can mark the people that are important. And if you mark somebody as important, their signals rise to the top of Nimble's Today page. So if they email you, if they follow, connect, retweet, or otherwise engage with you, you'll see it. And what Nimble also does is helps you to do a touch cycle to stay top of mind. So it's an example of what I've done with you is I have a touch cycle of 30 days. So if 30 days go by where you don't connect with me and I don't connect with you, we don't have a conversation, then Nimble reminds me, John, you know what? You've marked Mark as important. You said that you want to stay in touch to stay top of mind, because Mae West said, out of sight is out of mind, and out of mind is out of money, honey. I would then reach out and walk in your digital footprint, because I could basically bring up your entire posts across Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, etc. And I can then see what you're saying and then add value to part of your conversation so that you'll think, hey, you know what? John's listening to me. He's adding value to my conversation. And then when I actually do reach out for business purpose, you'll go, you know what? John's been paying this relationship forward over time. I'd love to take his call and find out what he's up to, because I always kind of chuckle and dig what he's saying.
So it's the focus and the consistency. And again, it's just those little reminders, but it's the reminder to reach out authentically, to actually help somebody. And you keep using the term walking in their digital footprint. So it's not just a tickler file of I need to talk to John, or send them, hey, John, how are you? Random emails. But John, how are you doing? Maybe I noticed that you're having a launch coming up. I saw that you're talking about it on Twitter. I'd love to reconnect and see how I can help you with the launch, as opposed to the typical 30, 60, 90 days. Hey, John, what are you up to? That could just be a cut and paste of your name that I'm going to change for 20 other people.
It's an authentic connection where you're listening to that other person and determining a way that you can serve them. The problem is, Mark, today, there's a Dunbar limit. You can only manage 100, 120 different relationships effectively. Nimble increases that Dunbar limit. That helps you to identify people that matter, to reach out and establish that initial connection, but most importantly, to maintain that connection.